Oh, here we are again now, and it's like no time has passed. Gazing out upon the sunset as it sinks into the night. Many times it seemed as though a given day might be our last. Face to face with certain death, it's somehow coming out alright. I don't think that we have any cause to lament, but there's quite a lot of thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent.
Your group fits through the rather narrow, almost crawl space-like hole down that extends beneath the fortress. This place was clearly carved or built by less precise tools than the rest of the fortress. In fact, a significant portion of this seems to be almost removed by claw. And Marcus, taking a look at some of the... Actually, you're the only one that manages to absorb this through a combination of familiarity and your dark vision. You notice various markings along either side of this crawl space that are clearly from your father's horns.
His horns are so big.
His horns are substantial enough that he has managed to mar up the sides of this, a common occurrence back in the Valafi household in the day.
Yeah, no, he would write little pithy sayings and occasionally, arrows leading me to some sort of prank.
You've never had that problem, have you, Marcus?
I never have, and I never will, and I'm thankful for this.
Mia prods at her own horns. I kind of got that. Yeah, I get it.
See, yeah, no, yours look more like, I don't know, you have a nice short sword going on there. My dad has some sort of bullshit scimitar that is too curved. I've got scalpels, baby.
You comment as you emerge into the hidden lab.
I wish I was from heaven or hell.
On my way down the ladder, I plant a foot in my father's face.
Rude. Extremely rude.
More where that came from.
Careful not to step on his horns, it hurts.
Yeah, believe me, I know that from the times he tried to masquerade as a rug.
Please, tell me that you've managed to master the ability to transmogrify yourself into a rug at some point.
I've mastered the ability to transmogrify myself into a rug.
What? Really?
No, not really.
Yeah, that would have come in handy a couple times.
Yeah, that would really solve our rug problem back at the bar.
We have a rug problem? What's our rug problem?
We
Not
got no
enough
rugs.
Oh, yeah.
If you need more rugs, there's these little things called merchants. Might be worth looking into when you get back there. Why am I being sassy this early? I'm sorry.
I don't think you know the merchants that we know.
Yeah, and also I'm pretty sure that a merchant pelt wouldn't actually cover that much ground.
Mercy stops at the intersection. Sir Valafi, where is the best course of action? And, considering you probably have a better understanding of what's going on down here, is it wise to start smashing things, or would that be more detrimental?
He thinks about that. Well, I can't say I'm very interested in anyone recovering the technology that's interred here, so I think smashing it is probably the wisest course of action. But in terms of the most efficient way to smash it, he says, looking around, I'm actually unsure on that front. I can't say I've destroyed any of the devices that I've ever created before, he says, moving into the room and, looking in. He motions over at the large, almost borderline test tube vials.
Are those souls inside them?
Yes, actually.
That's
they
horrible. If we break those, will they be freed?
In a technical sense. I mean, considering it, they're free right now.
Well, except for being contained within those pods, so...
But they're no longer contained within their mortal prison. Instead, they're contained within these
but now
pods,
they're contained within an artificial prison before they are used.
You can let them out of their artificial prison,
I am going to do that, yeah.
I just think they're neat.
So there is nothing we could do to save them.
Well, I think this is, I think releasing them is as close to saving them as we're going to get.
An astute observation, yes.
You referred to them as, cut off fingers and toes earlier, right, Mr. Surbream?
Here's Mr. Surbream, and he gets this, very self-serving grin on his face that, Marcus, you find insufferable.
Yep. Don't encourage him.
Yes, the best comparison that I have is if someone, quite literally took your nose or some other equivalent and, used it to summon some sort of angelic, creature. Emotions.
I wish I would have used my arm for that.
Wait, can that be done? Could someone take my nose and use it to summon an angelic creature?
He thinks.
You specifically, I think you would give them quite a fight, Gregor.
Oh yeah, that's my nose to use how I want.
He thinks about that for a second. Months ago, I would have said no, absolutely not, but, he motions to the lab around him. Apparently, magic has come a long way recently, so maybe your nose could be used to summon some sort of horrific beast. He moves into the room.
Gregor rubs his nose worriedly.
No, it's okay, you'll be safe.
He takes a look at Harlock. What's Harlock doing?
I want to learn.
Of course you do. Okay, Harlock. So, in the immediate, taking a look at these devices, you manage to quickly scan them, and you more or less process what this thing is meant to do. These souls that are trapped inside, they're basically used as fuel. You look around the base of the device and you see almost a thin tube or tub of what appears to be an almost mercury-like substance that's sunk to the bottom. And looking at that a little bit closer, you're able to compare that up with what you've seen of these creatures in the past. If you had to guess, this is sort of like to use a gross-ass term, this is like a birthing vat for these things. Using these souls that are trapped within to call the creatures out. Taking a look at the runes scattered around the floor, you notice that they're sort of here to keep whatever is going to be summoned contained to some extent within this device, should they be summoned early or hazardously. And then taking a look at the device itself, Harlock, your earlier comparison of a signal that is being transmitted from elsewhere is really driven home by this creation. This is as you're doing this, you're scampering around, you're moving up, you get on top of it, you press your face to the side.
She's also literally sketching the design.
Yeah, you're sketching the design. This is actually an incredibly advanced bit of alchemy that's meant to more or less fling a signal, bring it in, fire it through the souls in the middle, and infuse it down into the body below, basically creating a creature on the spot. You also, over the course of doing this, do manage to figure out that these pods have a sort of failsafe. Unless they are dismantled incredibly carefully, the pod will, by its own virtue, even without the requisite amount of ASMR energy contained within, it will fire off a signal and pull in whatever the fuck.
Interesting.
It's going to give less of a shit about pulling in a particular, how do I put this? It's going to give less of a shit about pulling in something particular, and it will only care about expending the energy contained within as a sort of last-ditch failsafe. You get the feeling that this is You get the feeling that this lab, to some extent, is a little booby-trapped. Maybe if the soldiers got particularly adventurous or brave, there would be some sort of failsafe set up. So yes, that is the information I can give you.
Can I add Marcus's magical expertise into this, like, research? Because I want him... I kind of think that he would want to examine the runes that are present on these.
Ooh, okay. So, you're taking a look at the stuff that's on the
ground
vial.
And on the like around the top of the thing here.
Oh,
I imagine this is the signal, the thing that receives the signal.
Exactly.
And this keeps whatever is summoned
contained.
contained.
Unit. Exactly.
Okay.
So
now I guess like what the main like specific thing I'm asking is if instead of immediately dismantling, Marcus were to use the dark scouring on a specific rune to break the top circle.
Okay.
To like specifically like just wipe that off of the surface, like quite literally scouring it clean.
You're using your family's art? The dark scouring?
Yeah. I modified it into an Eldritch Blast, and I'm using the OG formulation because it's good for cleaning shit up.
Your father is
Don't get all
grinning
sentimental
at you.
about this or anything.
So, in that case, we are going to need a sequence. We're going to need a sequence of rolls, but that method of going about it is incredibly sound. And as you look at the runes running along the ground, in the event of like the failsafe being triggered, the runes along the ground will not hold up even for a fucking second. They're mostly meant to keep docile creatures asleep.
Can I help with that? Because as you might remember from 5 years ago, Harlock is a rune expert.
Yes, of course. Thank you for the reminder from 5 years ago.
So yeah, actually, in that case, Harlock, I can recognize that these runes along the top are important for receiving a signal. I can't really see many of the specifics. I don't think I know this script beyond, just in passing. Would you be able to pinpoint a specific rune that would be best to break the circuit?
Yeah, I guess I could look into it. I don't think it would be too particularly difficult. It's a shame that we have to break it. It's so interesting.
It's not. It's not a shame. This is an abomination. This is a deep, dark, stinky alley that magic turned down, and that it should never have gone into.
Let me just walk down the stinky alley, though. Does anybody have an extra soul?
No, nobody had. Wait, well, I guess actually, technically, I might have extra soul, but I'm not giving it to
Marcus, do this for me. For me.
Listen. These are innocent ASMR souls, bits of innocent ASMR souls that are being held against their will to be turned into monstrous abominations.
I know that's why I'm saying what happens if we put in half of your tiefling soul?
That's Moses.